Jordan Pope played 4 minutes in the loss against Arkansas. 4 fouls in those 4 minutes. Mark lets it fly for 3. Weaver kept it alive, but Brown is off and running for Boomer Sooner. To Pack. Mark bumps him, and Tremont Mark is called for the foul. Nothing new with the Oklahoma starting 5. Nothing has changed all season long. Oklahoma, the only power conference school with the same starting 5 in every game this season. Brown to inbound, got it back. To Davis. He's a rim attacker. And Davis with the first bucket of the night, coming off a 12-point performance in the win against Missouri to help snap out of a mini slump that he's experiencing late in the year.
Yeah, well, that's what he has to do, attack. 6'9". You see he can just take it from the top pretty much anywhere and finish over his defender. Getting a little sloppy. That's 2 turnovers by Texas early.
Looked like it was intended for Porter Moser, rocking the sport coat over there on the Oklahoma sideline. What a story for the Sooners. Early in conference play, 9 straight losses, yet here they are still with the chance to make the NCAA tournament. Bounce pass. And the big fella inside cannot get it to go, draws the foul. It's Kirill Elatontsov. His one and only semester of college basketball because of his professional career in Russia. And there is the head coach of the Sooners, trying to get the Boomer Sooners back to the dance. 9 seed last season, lost in the first round. So Weaver was called for the foul. Elatontsov goes to the line, makes the first.
Yeah, Elatontsov gives them that pick and pop type big man player, and their hope is to try to bring Big Vokatitis out of the lane and have him defend that high ball screen with the pick and pop action.
Vokatitis, double team, feels it, skip pass. Pope got the 3. Texas on the board.
And get the nerves down. Don't forget senior night here for Jordan Pope. Played a lot of games here in Austin. He gets his second 3-pointer down.
Kick out, open for Reed. Over Dalen Swain, rolls off the iron. Here's Swain. Oh, what a move! But Reed fouls him.
Well, neither team is a high-tempo team, but they do run with opportunity. Pope can get it and run. Tremont Mark and Dalen Swain can get it. Sometimes he's their best defensive rebounder, but at times a great advanced pass. He gets up the floor, and his greatest skill at 6'8", he's a combo guard, really. 6'8" combo guard. There's very few people in the country that can get by that initial defender and get to the free throw line and make a pay.
So much talk this time of year about playing yourself into the NCAA tournament. Dalen Swain could be playing himself into the first round of the NBA draft.
There's no doubt. If he just keeps doing, you didn't have to focus on, talk about it, just keep doing what he is doing, and that is leading Texas, points, rebounds, assists, just about every category.
Only major conference player to lead his team in 5 major stat categories. Scoring, assists, rebounding, steals, and minutes. He's a do-it-all. Pack. Step through. What a touch for Nigel Pack. 3rd leading active scorer in college basketball with more than 2,000 points for his career.
Yeah, Nigel knows everyone's going to try to run him off that 3-point line. If he can make that shot early, the 3 for him will open up, and that is where he is one of the best in the country.
Vokatitis hands it off to Pope. He had the early 3. He can get going in a hurry. Off the mark there. Rebound by Tay Davis.
This is where you got to pick up Nigel Pack. Right now he's in the corner.
Long 2, ripped by Xavier Brown.
He's another guy, him and Nigel Pack, they can explode offensively. That was one thing Coach Miller told us. He says, we got to slow those 2 guards down. That's where it starts for us. And Oklahoma's defense has improved in this latest run that they've had to end the season.
And that's what they have to avoid, the foul. And that's E. Elatanza with the foul against Vokatitis.
And here's OU. Good job. Tight curl by Nigel Pack. Create some space. Show the ball a little bit. Get him jumping off his feet. And then here's Xavier Brown finding a little space himself for the mid-range. Pull up. Oklahoma's up 3.
Texas head coach Sean Miller has made 4 trips to the Elite 8 in his previous stops. He feels the Texas offense gives the Horns a chance to make a tournament run, but Pat, he knows his team is going to have to be more difficult to score against in the postseason for that to really happen.
Right, they've become a better defensive player, a defensive team over the last few games, really over conference play. And there was a couple of things. To be a good defensive team, he calls it foul discipline. A lot of coaches do. You cannot bail the offensive player out, put him to the free throw line. But that has been a big point for him this year. We got to become better defensively, but also we have to have foul discipline.
Good sign here for OU as Mo McGee has checked back into the game, had that early contact to the face from Manis Vokatitis in the opening possession for Texas, but no foul called.
It's really been Oklahoma's defense, right? He said, Coach Moser said, we're trying to protect the paint. We're trying to push everything out of the paint. We don't want you to have it anywhere near the paint. You saw Vokatitis was getting pushed out, and he caught it about 15 feet.
And that's a careless turnover there. Is that number 3 on Texas? It certainly is off the inbound after that timeout.
And 3 uncharacteristic, okay, off the inbound. Who does that off the baseline, out of bounds?
You never did that.
No, and that's certainly just lack of movement, setting screens, getting open.
What a move by Tate Davis. Swain tried to recover and count it for Tate Davis. That's how he needs to get back on track, in the words of Coach Moser. Attack, attack, attack.
Well, you saw how quick he is off the dribble. Can go either way. First time he's attacking to the right side. That time to the left side. 6'9", he can move like that and handle it. You better believe there's more that Coach Moser wants.
Second season for these rivals in the SEC. So 4th matchup in this conference. The road team has won the previous 3, including Texas earlier this year. Late January by 10.
And this is such an incredible matchup.
Late shot clock. Mark has to go. Forces it. Got the rim. Did not get the bucket. Swain tried to save it, but it's going to OU.
Lowell, what's amazing is Texas has 3 of the most difficult one-on-one guys to defend. I'm talking about Dalen Swain can break it down. Tremont Mark, we know how difficult of a shot maker he is, along with Jordan Pope. Oklahoma is keeping that shell on their defense, and those guys just can't break them down. Oklahoma's defense is winning this game right now.
Dayton Forsythe bringing it up. His health has been an X factor for Oklahoma. Cam Heide called for the foul there.
I feel like that's not the first time we'll see Dayton Forsythe on the ground today. I mean, if there's anybody who can handle it, it's that guy right there. He comes in with energy. He's another scorer off the bench. He's a 3rd ball handler for Oklahoma. A huge piece for this team.
I mean, you just Google him to look at his stats, and the first thing that comes up for images is him bleeding from the face after contact. You see his ankles, though. He's wearing braces on both ankles. He has dealt with sprains in both of those ankles throughout the course of this season. It has hurt his production, and that's when OU was in the middle of that 9-game slide. Pretty spin. McGee tried to keep it alive and gets it back. Forsythe for 3, no. The kick, Davis. Swain with the board.
And this is where Dalen Swain is so dangerous. Defensive rebound, starts the break.
Speaking of dangerous, that's where Cam Heide typically goes to work, cannot connect.
It's a good matchup right here. Swain and Davis, 2 guys similar size, handle the basketball well.
Forsythe getting some separation. Heide with the rebound. Swain will bring it up, the ultimate playmaker for Texas. Actually allows Jordan Pope to do a lot more of that. Trying to create offense on his own, feeds it to Vokatitis, and he's fouled.
And what separates Vokatitis He's 7 feet, 250 with, what, 5% body fat, and he can run the floor right there. He runs the floor, he hits you, and then he gives his teammates no other option than to get him the basketball right there because he's underneath the hoop already.
Leads the SEC in field goal percentage at 64%. He is elite at drawing fouls. Third most fouls drawn per 40 minutes in college basketball. And has done a solid job converting, 69%. I'd say that's good enough for a guy that size.
Well, he loves contact. He wants contact. He needs contact.
And has learned how to tame that appetite as his career has progressed. I just want him to be a little bit smarter.
Right.
Locatitis to the bench. Nick Cody checks in.
Well, it's those cheap fouls, right? It's
The
the one
silly
where you're
ones,
leaning.
yep.
Just go straight up. And if a guy scores on you trying to go through your chest and
Like the early contact to McGee, if that was called for a foul, that's kind of typical of what we've seen from Locatitis this year. Here's Brown, the feed. McGee nearly had the flush swing called for the foul.
it's a well-run play by Oklahoma. See the spacing they had to run that play. Nice pass on time, on target. Thread the needle. Bounce pass to the big fella. How about Mo McGee going down to get it?
OU goes as Mo goes. He's in the middle of the best four-game stretch of his career. 12 points per game, just shy of 10 rebounds per game. And it's no wonder why OU has now won 3 straight coming into this.
Yeah, right here. All this space that they have to work with. Mo just excellent, sets a screen. He's going one place. He is rim running, right? Catching, going up, and trying to finish. And the importance of Mo McGee tonight is going to be on the defensive glass. Texas is one of the best offensive rebounding teams we have in the league. So they're going to have to be physical and smart on that glass.
OU extends the defense with Pack on Pope. Pope fouled by E. Elatonte.
Yeah, and that's the first time in a set half-court offense Texas has been able to get to the rim. Swain did it on a transition play. That was a good tight curl by Jordan Pope. Didn't hesitate, went straight to the rim.
That's going to be foul number 2 on E. Elatonte. Pope to the line. It's a rough go against Arkansas for him. No points, 4 minutes, that's it. Did have 12 points in the first meeting of the season against OU. That 10-point win for Texas. Hits both, and Texas off to a much better start from the free throw line. Perfect 6 for 6. Coming off their worst game from the charity stripe of the year. 14 of 27. But got buried early against Arkansas. And even though the offense picked up, defense not nearly enough to stop Acuff and company. OU top 20 nationally in offensive efficiency. Forsyth on Cody. Here's Pack, still plenty of time. Wilcher trying to hang tough, bumps him, and Simeon Wilcher called for the foul. And this is problematic for Texas. Fouling with only 5 on the shot clock in that situation for Wilcher.
Yeah, bailed him out, and you see the value of Forsyth. He comes in the game. He can play on the ball, which allows Nigel Pack to play off the ball and move to try to find an opening, which he just did.
Pack misses the first free throw attempt. And Pack gets the split. Pack involved in many battles through the years, back in the Big 12 days with Texas, when he was starring for Kansas State. Finally, Kevin, thank you so much. And what a thriller there in Louisiana. Huge tournament implications here in Austin, Texas. For Oklahoma, Joe Lunardi calls this a last stand. They are still in consideration to make the big dance. For Texas, an opportunity to get off the bubble, according to Joe Lunardi, and with the win, will lock up the final first-round bye in the SEC tournament. It starts Wednesday in Nashville. Jadon Jones, the deep three, and is going to go to the line to try to extend this 13-9 lead for Oklahoma. Lowell Galindo here with Pat Bradley. What are you seeing in the early goings of this game?
Well, Oklahoma's half-court defense has done a great job of keeping Texas out of the lane on straight drives. They forced turnovers, and they've made Texas settle for some threes, and really they not take advantage of the paint like they did the previous game.
This is one of those matchups where if you told people late January both teams would have major tournament implications, they would say you're crazy, because at that point OU, they were hopeless. 9 straight losses. Texas was barely clinging to hope.
Yeah, both coaches have been able to bring their teams along, identify the weaknesses going into SEC play, and they've gotten better. Both teams have gotten better. A lot of it was defense on both sides of the basketball for both teams. Defensively, they've both gotten better, and that's been a big key.
Texas really started looking like a tournament team with a 5-game win streak that started January 31st in Norman against Oklahoma. Meanwhile, the Sooners have responded from a dismal 9-game losing streak. They've now won 5 of their last 7, including 3 in a row. There is hope, but they have to win this game tonight in Austin. The lob to Vokatitis inside, and he's fouled by Mo Wagee. That is number 2 for OU's big. Keeping Wagee out of foul trouble is paramount to Porter Moser's chances with Oklahoma tonight. And they have not hit from the field since the 15:44 mark. It's not like Texas is lighting up. 1 of 7 from the field to start this game.
Yeah, really, both teams have been able to get to the free throw line. You mentioned Oklahoma not making a field goal, but they've gotten to the free throw line to keep this lead.
Dalen Swain to inbound. Vokatitis on E. Elatonso. The blow-by and the flush.
Did I mention he's 7 foot 250? The footwork he has, and he's got great soft hands. He's got a lot of moves inside the paint.
Speed mismatch for Pack. Vokatitis contested, affected it, but the tip in by E. Elatonso.
Yeah, that switch allowed E. Elatonso to get to the offensive glass on the mismatch.
Weaver baseline, showing the athleticism, and he was met by 4 Sooners in a held ball.
Well, that's what separates Kendall Weaver. That's his catch and go. As soon as he catches it, he's not going to shoot. He catches and goes with the basketball.
Desperation time for OU. They need this win, and they've got a 6-point lead here in Austin. Streak early in SEC play. They got healthy, and Pat now have won 5 of its last 7.
Well, they've tightened it up defensively, and that's been something that Coach Porter Moser known for. He's been preaching, and he's gotten his guys to buy into it. He says, listen, we don't want anybody to be able to take advantage of us in the paint. That was his #1 thing to get across to these guys, and if he can just get consistent play. We talked about Mo Wagee, how important he is on both ends of the floor, mind you now, okay? He's a big shot blocker, defensive rebounder on one end, and he's a finisher on the other. He has learned how to not get into foul trouble early to make sure he stays in the game and have impact.
Well, unfortunately, he has found the foul trouble early. 2 quick ones for Wagee, and that goes against the improved defense and what has gotten them there. Moser pointing out that OU has been very good defending 2-point shots the last 4 games. Fewer than 20 makes from 2 allowed in those past 4. You got Vokatitis, who lives in the paint, and now no Wagee for the immediate future of this game.
Yeah, well, E. Elatonso is going to be playing big minutes tonight, so They've got 10. They've got 10 fouls to take on
Use
Matas
them all.
Vokatitis. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to be prepared to use them all. So Wiggy is gonna have to stay ready.
Well, you started slow against Missouri on Tuesday. They ended up shooting 62% from the field, 55% from three to get that win. And that goes off glass from Xavier Brown.
It looked
And
like
did
they
count
counted
it?
it.
Yeah, so it's going to be an and one for Xavier Brown.
Another great use of that high ball screen. Well, actually, it wasn't even. Ilatonsov slipped it, and that's so normally he will set that screen and pop. Vokatitis is really drops coverage, and a little bit of a switch up on how Oklahoma is running that with Ilatonsov. I like it. He dove that time, which opened up a driving lane.
A 20-11 lead for Oklahoma. Trying to split the season series and have a shot for the NCAA tournament. Jordan Pope connects from deep, his second three ball of the night. He was shut out in that blowout loss against Arkansas. Foul trouble, 4 fouls, 4 minutes. That was it. Brown tries to turn the corner. Long two, rattles out.
He had the pop on Ilatonsov that time, but that's a shot he can make. Made one earlier in the game.
Cody with the screen. Pope shooting behind it, wanted the foul. Not going to get it here. Davis leading the charge for the OU offense. Attacking what he does best. And a late whistle called against Texas as Davis took a tumble. That's going to go against Nick Cody, number 1.
Yeah, and that's
for
what
him.
Oklahoma wants Davis to do with his ability. You see just right there, he keeps his head up, uses both hands, takes that slight little Euro step, knows there's going to be contact, so he's waiting for that, feels it, and gets it up off the rim. Coach Miller not happy about that call.
You don't say. Davis hits the first. Just a tick under 70% from the free throw line this season.
Oklahoma's done a good job this game, whether it be attacking, right? Davis has gone to the rim, been rewarded with free throws. And we saw Nigel Pack using his craftiness to get fouled, get to the free throw line. That's what they've been able to do effectively, Oklahoma, is get to that free throw line.
And it's a balanced scoring output from this team. Much in the same way that they used to beat Missouri with 5 players between 11 and 13. So far for Texas, it's really been a one-man show. Jordan Pope, he's got 8. Swain trying to get his shot off and draws the foul on Tay Davis. And that's number 1.
On the other end, you see how Dalen Swain could rock you to sleep. He's just waiting for an opening. 6'8". He can go right, he can go left. He sometimes will play up 2 feet, plant and turn and spin. But that is a perfect example of why Dalen Swain's so difficult. And he gets fouls on you, too. The value of that, we talked about how important it is getting to the free throw line.
And hits the first at the line. This is the final gymnastics meet on tomorrow's SEC schedule. It's going to be one of the best of the weekend. Number 2 LSU takes on number 4 Florida at the O'Connell Center. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern right here on the SEC Network. Swain with the split at the line.
Well, here's an interesting stat. I don't know if I've ever seen this halfway through the first half. Oklahoma has 0 turnovers and 0 assists.
Yet leads 22-15.
Right, well, they understand, listen, we get a driving lane, we're going. And we got to create something like right here.
Trying to get Vokatitis out in space where he's not as comfortable. Pack for 3. Vokatitis tried to get it and went off Texas. It's going to be Oklahoma basketball. What do you think about the way they're making Vokatitis defend?
Well, they have to bring him out. The big fella, although he is a great 7-foot runner, great athlete, you got to bring him out as much as often as you can. I think that's the matchup that with Ilatonsov, he's a 3-point shooter, okay? He can knock down that shot. So Vokatitis has to respect that.
Pack off the curl. In rhythm, bang for Nigel Pack.
Well-run play out of bounds set for Nigel Pack. Just curls, plants his right foot, gets on balance.
OU is a fantastic three-point shooting team, but they're not shying away from these long twos. There's Kendall Weaver. Looking for help. To Pope. The screen from Vokatitis. Long two for Pope. John Miller typically does not like those shots unless it's Tremont Martin. 3 Longhorns in the same spot. Pope attacks. That's a bailout drive right there from Jordan Pope because the spacing was all out of whack.
Spacing was off. Oklahoma was really up behind the three-point line, chest to chest, defending Texas. And Jordan Pope again found that seam to attack. Now, listen, when Vokatitis is out there, E.L. Tonsov is really just, I mean, he's just physicaling him up and basically have an old school wrestling match. So there's really not going to be a lot of rim protection, right, for Oklahoma because all of your attention is on Vokatitis. Like you're fighting with him. You can't see Jordan Pope dribbling down your back.
Well, whatever they're doing to this point, it's working because Texas is shooting 25% from the field. Pope converts both.
We see now Coach Moser's like,
yeah,
all bigs on deck tonight, my friend.
So Kai Rogers checks in. Under 4 total minutes over the last 4 games, yet they need him.
You know what he has, though?
What does he have?
He has 5 fouls in his pocket, my man.
And you need him against big number 8. Brown on Cody. Oh, beautiful move. And shot left short.
Oh, they're going at it already.
Got fouled by Rogers, not called. The spin, the bang. A little high, but Vokatitis says, I'm 7 foot and you're not.
Well, Kai Rogers, and you see the official talking with him and Vokatitis. We're getting into it on the other end. And Dalen Swain, he gets in the lane, plays off 2 feet, under control at 6'8", can see over defenders. Good passing lanes. And Vokatitis, you see the big fella's hands? I mean, he just snatched that out of midair. Looked like Randy Moss. Ooh. The one-handed catch.
You got mossed. And there's
he
the
got
old school
mossed.
3-point play by Monis Vokatitis. And we have ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, Kai Rogers and Vokatitis, they've been physical the first possession down the floor.
Forsythe to Brown. Brown over Swain. And again. A wrestling match.
Again.
And no foul called. They're letting him go. Pope. Step back.
He's doing it again. Oh, this is
WWE style. Let's go. And finally a whistle, but now they're calling it on Vokatitis. And officials saying, easy, big fella, easy.
Uh-oh.
And now, here come the officials, and they had to break up Rogers and Vokatitis before something else elevated. Oh, man, it's rivalry basketball with tournament aspirations on the line. Of course, it's getting heated in Austin. Joe Lunardi calling this the last stand for Oklahoma. And the Sooners are fighting like a team that's back against the wall. Still alive for the NCAA tournament. Boy, it's physical, as you would expect with Texas and OU. Now it's Monis Vokatitis and Kai Rogers going at it. And no foul calls until this one.
Yeah, that was his. Hey,
that was probably the most gentle exchange between the two.
That was the nicest that they've been to each other all night. Well, official Don Daly is a seasoned official, one of the most seasoned we have. He did a great job of cooling everybody off.
Yeah. We have a combined 44 points and 3 combined assists. Dumped down to Rogers. Rogers can't get the bunny. Jones keeps it alive. Here's Dalen Swain. Swain on read. Swain, crafty move and the finish. Three Texas players have all the points. Pope, Swain, Vokatitis. Once again, Vokatitis has to extend the defense. Forsythe tries to go over him. And Dalen Swain rips down the rebound. He's got 3 of those. Cody banging inside. Vokatitis, bucket and 1 against Rogers.
And we've talked all night about how big Matas Vokatitis sprints down the floor and gets positioned right in front of the rim. And, credit Vokatitis, like we talked about before, the man wants contact, needs contact, lives on, and he knows he's going to get hit. And accepts it, finishes strong, and 1. And this is the intensity you want, right? Texas, Oklahoma, baby.
Venables and Sarkisian are both watching this game thinking, if we could only have this kind of intensity up in Dallas. I mean, they are banging. Texas takes the lead.
And we talked about what is on the line, really. Yeah. And although Texas is a lock in the NCAA tournament, you want to win. You want to keep improving your seat.
And I would categorize it as a soft lock at this point.
Sure.
Lenardi does say it definitely does more to get them off the bubble with the win here, as that's turnover number 2 for Oklahoma after that travel call. So with the win, OU's chances bump up to 23%. Pretty much toast with the loss. For Texas, it goes up to 78%. The loss, 59%. What you have to worry about are the bid stealers in conference tournaments. Jordan Pope step back. And it's off Heidi. Heidi's calling for a review. Oklahoma basketball. Quick inbound. And Brown will set up the offense for Oklahoma. It's a 10-0 run for the Longhorns. Brown, the cradle, and the finish. Xavier Brown showing out. He's got 7.
Brown has been fantastic in this game, finding his spots in his opening, not forcing anything, giving it. They give him the shot, he's taking it, or the drive, he's taking advantage of that.
Swain turning the corner.
Good cut.
The vision. Pope got rejected by Jones. Mark keeps it alive. Mark defended by 3 Sooners, and Oklahoma wins that possession. Tay Davis, strong board. Davis. Brown for 3. Brown got 3. Xavier Brown had been seeing that scoring drop as of late. Just 11 points per game over the last 6. He is waking up tonight.
Yeah, Tay Davis made that whole play with his ability to get in the lane and find a 3-point shooter. Got in the lane, 2 feet, burn, turn, Brown delivers.
Swain fouled.
Tay Davis, you see when he is rolling how difficult of a guard he is for anybody, right? I mean, he can get it. We've seen him in transition, getting off the rim, leading them in transition in the half court at 6'9", what he can do.
Another big foul for OU. That's number 3 for E. Elatanzov. And the front court for the Sooners running into foul trouble. Well, the SEC men's basketball tournament begins Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. We'll have all the first and second round games, as well as the late quarterfinal matchups right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. First round coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific with the SEC Now crew.
Yeah, Oklahoma is small. Defensively, it's going to be a tough matchup. Maybe they go to that zone.
Top 4 seeds. We know who will have the double bye in Nashville. The Gators, the Hogs, the Tide, and the Commodores. And going to the line is going to be Tay Davis, who woke up this morning and said, I'm going to get back to attacking the rim. And has done exactly that.
Yeah, he's a strong, athletic guy who we saw him in the previous defensive possession be somewhat of a rim protector when they needed him to, and attacking the rim on the other end, playing as a small 5.
And attacking Vokatitis. That's now number 2. in the first half here. Vermontis Vokatitis, he has to go to the bench, and Nick Cody checks in.
And now the matchups are a little bit better for Oklahoma with Vokatitis out of the game. Nick Cody certainly has played well, but not that presence that Matas has in the paint.
Oklahoma knows it will play on the opening day in Nashville on Wednesday. That rolls out. Texas will play on the opening day unless they get a win tonight, and that would lock up the number 8 seed and get them a first-round bye. 3-point lead for Oklahoma. Second matchup of the season between Texas and OU. Pope, baseline tough finish. Tried to tip it in. Moser says Dalen Swain elite at getting to the spot and proving the opposing coach correct. Swain has got 10, and we're tied up at 30.
Dalen Swain again, he sees Nigel Pack switches off him, so he says, can I get around him? Let me just rock him, get in rhythm, get ready for my pull-up 3. Dalen Swain for 3. It's a tie game in Austin, Texas. Then I think
because that correlates with OU getting hot.
Right. And Tennessee, you know, if I can't not pick Arkansas, you got to go Tennessee, the Wildcats. And I'm going to say this. We have been in Nashville when the city of Nashville has just come all the way around for Vanderbilt. I think Vandy's going to make a run the SEC tournament. So, Fish, don't be surprised by Saturday. It's all full of Vandy people.
Davis the spin. Weaver with the rebound. It's tied up at 30. As Dari mentioned, Pope, Swain, Vokatitis, they each have 10 until that, because Pope has 13. Nobody else has anything for Texas, scoffing at the notion of balance. Pack with a great cut. Davis couldn't find him. Swain, the one-hand feed to Weaver. Weaver attacking, short.
Yeah, Oklahoma's got to get a good look here. They don't want to finish this half.
Pack lost it. Just gave it right to Swain.
It's like I was just saying.
Lob City! No, he did it! Oh my goodness, Kendall Weaver just provided the most electric moment of his Texas career in his final game in Austin. And that is a SportsCenter Top 10 nominee. Goodness.
The timing of the pass and the jump, he jumped from outside the lane. That's 2 feet from outside the lane. Caught it at the perfect time, the top of his jump.
That capped an 8-zip run for Texas. Oklahoma has come back and snapped that with Brown at the line, but this almost snapped the rim.
When he threw that low, I was like, okay, there's no way.
Yeah.
No way. He jumped from too far away.
He's springy. Must have been some great one-on-one battles back in the day with his sister, Kennedy Carter, one of the all-time greats in Texas A&M basketball history. Started his career at UT Arlington. This is season number 3 for him in Austin. Honored before the start of this game on senior night.
Oklahoma comes back after that and gets to the free throw line. That's a way to stop a run. The place is going wild.
And no one knows how to come back in the face of adversity like these Oklahoma Sooners. 9 straight losses earlier this season. They're still in the mix for the tournament. But Jordan Pope is trying to bury him. Pope's got 16. Pack on Heidi. Reed, patient pursuit of the bucket and draws the foul on Swain. Number 2 for the Texas leader.
Yeah, Jordan Pope, this is the second time, really at the end of the shot clock, just a catch and shoot, and that's the Cam Heidi and Jordan Pope are the 2 guys for Texas that you want to move on the pass. You want to know exactly where they are. No catch and shoot for Jordan Pope or Heidi.
Darion Reed to the line. Picked up first, and yeah, it was not a great showing for the Longhorns, and specifically for Pope against your alma mater. He had 0 points in 4 minutes. He did have 4 fouls, which is why he had that stat line. Much better tonight, 16 points and 15 ticks. 4-point lead now for Texas. OU had a 9-point lead early in this game.
Yeah, Tremont Mark right there, 6'5", ripped through to the left hand. You gotta be aware, if you're Jones, which way Tremont wants to attack you. And that left hand is strong for Tremont Mark, and that's an area where he has made a living over the last few years, catching it right there at the top of the key. Plays a lot of, I mean, he loves.
Say last few years, though? A few times 2?
Yeah, a few times 2. And Tremont's a mid-range guy, right? Yeah. Tremont Mark, we know that. He's going to get to the rim, but he's going to play right around that mid-range area.
And right here, this shot is awesome because you have 2 6-year players in Pack for OU and Tremont Mark shooting the free throws that have both appeared in the Final Four at previous stops. Miami for Pack, Houston for Mark. Been through the battles. Dayton Forsyth brings it up for the Sooners. Behind the back. In some trouble. Mark picked it off. Cody lost it. Fantastic defense by Reed. Davis. And a hard fall by Darion Reed. And it's going to draw the foul.
That's the biggest swing of the first half. You have a dunk attempt on one end, up 6 for Texas. Miss that. Now Oklahoma goes to where they're going to have to start paying some rent here in Austin, Texas at the Moody Center, because they have been living at the free throw line. So now, instead of Texas running away with a run here in the end of the first, Oklahoma's got a chance to stop that run.
Got to hit some shots from the field. It's obvious. But almost 4 minutes without a field goal for OU. And here is that contest on the other side. Cody was going up. Look at the job by Darion Reed.
Great timing.
And Reed now has 4 points. He's been a steady scoring presence for Oklahoma. And one of the big reasons for this late season surge, 3 straight wins for Porter Moser's crew. Visiting team has won 3 in a row in this series. Heidi, and that's going to be trouble.
Yeah, I thought he had enough space to get that off. My goodness, what a defensive play by Jones, because it was almost like he baited him into thinking he was open for that catch and shoot. Come into my web, said the spider to the fly. In fact, he wasn't open. Jaden Jones, what a defensive play.
He was a sight to behold in that win against Missouri. His best game as a Sooner. Can't connect there. Brown fighting for the rebound, and it's going to be Texas basketball. 1:02 remaining here in the first half. Oklahoma had the early 9-point lead. Texas got it going, and for the longest time, it was only 3 Longhorns that had scored in Pope, Swain, and Vokatitis. Foul trouble has become an issue in the front court for Oklahoma. Elatansev on the bench with 3 fouls. McGee has 2 fouls. We knew that would be the matchup to watch with Monis Vokatitis in the post for Texas. Currently not in the game for the Longhorns. 10 on the shot clock for Pope. Got it back from Cody. Straight on. Wide right. Weaver tries to save it. Goes to Rogers instead. Reed being very careful to make sure he knows where Weaver is trailing that play.
Good job, Oklahoma here. Just trying to get a good last shot for them. I'm going to leave a few seconds left for Texas.
Go time for Brown. On Heidi. Stop and pop. Rolls off. Cody with the rebound. 5 seconds for Texas to get off the shot. Pope pulls the trigger. Pope looked good. Off the flick of the wrist, but left it short. Texas with the lead. 40-36 going to the half. Massive game for both these teams. A last stand, in the words of Joe Lenardi, for the Oklahoma Sooners. Hanging tough, down by 4 here in Austin. Tarrington.
Team only have one tonight, but it's been Xavier Brown finding ways to finish at the rim, and Tay Davis has done an excellent job, 6'9", also finishing at the rim for Oklahoma. In Texas, it's been Jordan Pope with his three-point shooting, has opened up the inside for big Voca Titus. Dalen Swain, one of the best one-on-one players in the entire country. And then Kendall Weaver with the alley-oop flush on that play. Now, that's only worth 2 points. I think we should think about giving him 3 or 4 points for that. That's how spectacular it was.
That's worth bending the rules for.
Yeah.
Xavier Brown leads the Sooners with 12 points. It's a big 3, top of 9 for Texas. Pope with 16. Swain and Voca Titus each have 10. Oklahoma needs to get Nigel Pack going. Leading scorer for the Sooners has 5 points. He's not connected from outside. And need an answer for Voca Titus inside. Foul trouble storyline for Oklahoma's front court in the first half. Great crowd here inside Moody. Standing room only for the Texas students. And up in the rafters. Oklahoma had a 9-point lead in the first half. Texas, its largest lead in the first half, 6 points. With the win, Texas will lock up the number 8 seed in Nashville, the final first-round bye for the SEC tournament. Tough look for Davis and draws the foul on Cam Heidi.
Yeah, that's one of those plays. Now, both teams have gone to the free throw line more than their averages, although Texas...
We've got 36 combined free throw attempts.
And Texas goes at about 26 times per game. They're at 16 right now. And I think right there is one of those instances where Cam Heidi saw it, he couldn't resist. He saw the basketball, he's trying to reach for it. But really, this game has been a free throw shooting contest up until this point.
And I think there could have been a lot more free throws than what we've seen. They've been letting them play a little bit as Davis misses both. It comes down to a free throw contest down the stretch. It's even for both teams at 74% on the season.
But the intensity and physicality of this game, fatigue will set in towards the end, which will affect free throw shooting.
And the final 4 minutes, an issue for Oklahoma in that last 9-game losing streak that they're coming off of and have recovered from nicely. But they are a different team now. They are healthier. Built for the final 4 minutes. Some work to do until they get there. Pack with his first connection from outside. 45% from 3. That is best in the SEC this season. And it's a 1-point deficit.
Yeah, up a pass from Darion Reed, who's done a better job recently of getting into the paint.
Hope he's feeling it. He's got 19 with 5 connections from deep.
Yeah, Jordan Pope has put up 14 shots, but his efficiency 50% from the three-point line right now.
Mark tugging on Pack. Pack finishes. It's go time for Nigel Pack. Answering the call quickly.
Yeah, a little energy coming out of the locker room. You get a desperate sense of urgency team clearly with Oklahoma, and then the last home game for Texas, the intensity, I mean, it's been from the tip.
Here's Pope, straight on 3. Rear miss from outside. The push. Brown finds it in the finish. But great spatial awareness to corral that pass before the finish.
Yeah, so you have Oklahoma getting fortunate with Pope having a wide open look at it. Just no communication to get back on defense.
Not marked shot there, wide right. Tied up at 43. Here comes Boomer Sooner. Brown left alone, knocks it down. Oklahoma takes the lead back.
Brown just being able to dribble through, basically through that Texas defense and get to his sweet spot, that 15-foot jumper. He started the game off for Oklahoma doing that. And Oklahoma comes out of this half looking refreshed. Lowell, great advance pass, good run by Brown. And then Xavier finding his way through the Texas defense. But two, Oklahoma's up two.
Would upset Texas, and it's been a wild rivalry. 109th all time, meaning OU leads the series all time. Texas won earlier this year in Norman, third straight win for the road team. And one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports. Swain the lob from Pope, collects himself and finishes, and we're tied up at 45.
Coming out of the timeout, Coach Miller drew it up, taking advantage of that aggressive Oklahoma defense.
Xavier Brown, 16 points. Trying to blow by Vocatitis. We got a wedgie. And it's going to go to Texas with a possession arrow. Vocatitis was able to stay nimble.
Now, there have been more basketball wedgies recently. The last couple of This is the last couple of years, because, 30 years ago, we used a different kind of basketball. This is almost like a synthetic leather almost. It sops up the sweat. Back in the day, we were real leather.
When it was real basketball?
Yeah, it was slippery when people were sweat on it. Texas going down to the big fella, establishing him as often as they can. And that's what he does, and that's what Texas does. And Coach Miller says, over the course of 40 minutes, we're going to wear you down.
He's affected the game beyond his 10 points.
Listen, guarding him for as many minutes as he's in the game will wear you down.
And OU has tried to wear him down, trying to extend the court coverage for him on defense. And doesn't necessarily work, nor did that pass to Kendall Weaver. Here's a lob inside, and Tay Davis. What a night for Davis. He's got 9 points. They need to get him going. Previous 3 games before taking down Missouri, it was quite honestly bad for Davis.
The second time Oklahoma's been able to get ahead of Texas's defense for an easy 2. Ooh, I felt like that's his mid-range jumper that he's always looking for.
Typically where he wants to go. Weaver back to Mark for 3 from the corner, in and out.
Oh, he's going to exchange the 2 for a 3.
Pack, dead eye.
And Nigel Pack is very dangerous in that transition type area. You've got to get up to him as he crosses half court. Nigel Pack is that dangerous from the 3-point line. Oklahoma up 2 over Texas in Austin. Do you think they could do that in the SEC tournament?
I'd make the argument, though, that if OU can win this game, they've got the most to gain in the SEC tournament, because it's still within arm's length for the Sooners.
There's still a lot of great neutral site victories to be had in the SEC tournament.
Here's Dalen Swain to the hoop and to finish. Also need to clean something up with the ramifications for Texas in this game. We came on there telling you that if Texas won, they'd lock up the 8th seed in Nashville. That was incorrect information that we received and delivered to you. Our apologies for that mishap. The accurate information directly from the SEC office is that if Texas wins, they lock up the number 9 seed in the SEC tournament and will have to play on the opening day on Wednesday. So again, our apologies for that misinformation. Texas with the win to the 9 seed in Nashville.
And some coaches will tell you, getting into playing the first game, And Coach Miller talked about it in his press conference. He says, listen, you get in, you play the first game. The guys get used to the environment. They get used to the arena, the court. You win that game, now you're playing a team who hasn't played in that Thursday game.
And picked off the inbound. The athletic play by Jadon Jones.
This guy went that way. The other guy went this way. And
is that a Top Gun line? Where'd you go?
Everybody looked at each other like, I thought you were going the other way. And Coach Miller not happy about that. It's not how he drew it up. We were at practice today.
Yes.
That's not how he drew up baseline out of bounds.
Foul number 3, meanwhile, for Monis Volkatitis. So he's going to take a spot on the bench. Nick Cody will check in. To the line is Tay Davis. Davis struggling tonight from the charity stripe. 3 of 6. And it continues 3 for 7 with a 69% free throw shooter.
Tay
Free
Davis.
throw 24 coming up for Oklahoma. Texas has 16 free throw attempts.
And I like what Oklahoma's doing. They come in, Texas knows, okay, they're going to want to shoot a lot of threes. We got to defend that. Oklahoma started the game saying, you want to run us off three-point line, we're going to take advantage and get it to the paint and to the rim. The result has been they're winning the free throw battle.
Oklahoma reclaims the lead, 48-47. Swain stating his case for first team All-SEC. Arguably the most valuable player in the conference, and delivers the assist to Mark.
But he keeps you on his hip. Dalen Swain does. And he turns and he spins and he pivots. And he can still see. He's got great vision to drop it off to a cutter. It's a tough defensive assignment.
Forsythe weaving to the hoop, high off the glass. Tries to get it back from Nick Cody. They say, settle down, give me that basketball.
They don't want to give it up.
And it's going to be Oklahoma basketball, so Dayton Forsythe rightfully keeps control of the rock.
He says, no, please, I'm going to take it. We got the possession, arrow. Oh, we get a shot of the official wiping the basketball down. Look at that right there, see? It doesn't suck up all the sweat. Great job by the official.
This has been a tough game to call tonight. A lot of banging, especially in the post. Brown, the hot hand. On Cody Weaver, trying to get it from behind, but Texas called for the foul. That's going to be against Kendall Weaver, number 2 for him.
Yeah, Kendall, again, you know, that type of a play, Brown's already got an advantage, right? He's in the paint, and I realize it's a nice crossover, straight line drive, and that's a foul. I mean, he came across, he just couldn't resist. I respect the effort.
Forsythe looking for his first bucket of the night. Will this be it? Yes, it will. Dayton Forsythe. Oklahoma is a different team with him back healthy and ripping it from deep. Nearly picked that one off. Forsythe trying to stay with Poe. The dump to Mark. Mark to Cody. Left it short. And Iolatanza with the rebound.
Wow, credit Jaden Jones for that. Being able to defend so well. Mark didn't even want to go up for that 10-footer.
Skip pass, Mark got a piece of it. Deflection, and stay with Oklahoma. Volkatitis will check back in with Cam Heide for the Longhorns. OU will roll with its current 5. As Jadon Jones will inbound. Wide open. Iolatanza misses the 3. Swain with the board, leading the charge for the Longhorns.
This is where he is tough. Double team, demands it, can go back to him.
Heidi, no hesitation this time, but left his short. He is one of the more streaky players that you will find in the SEC. When he is on, it's lights out. So far tonight has not been that kind of night. Brown on Pope. Brown gets some room. Turn around. And Swain with another rebound.
And pushing the pace again.
Heidi will attack this time. The wraparound. And the finish is good for Cam Heidi.
Listen, he is, we talk about him as a shooter, but he is a great athlete and a straight drive to the hoop kind of guy if you pressure him at that three-point line.
Elatonso for three. Again, short.
Yeah, that was what Oklahoma was sort of counting on, was he would get those looks. Was 1 of 7 their first matchup, now 0 for 2. And those are the sort of things that can really push you over the edge for Oklahoma.
Look at the position inside by Titus. And there is going to be a whistle before the shot, and that is going to be number 4 on Elatonso, the Oklahoma big. Tied up at 51, doesn't get better than this. Rivalry basketball, tournament implications in Austin.
Oh, with that, or he's going to push you around.
That's today's extra effort brought to you by Regions Bank. OU is turning around, shooting 55% from the field in the second half. Texas on an uptick as well, 46%.
Oklahoma came out in the second half, and Xavier Brown was able to find creases in that defense. I mean, he's a cool customer. You watch Brown play, he's explosive, but he is under control. He knows exactly when to put that burst of speed to get by his defender, and he's done that tonight all night long.
Who's the guy that OU needs more from in the final 11:39?
Well, I look at, Nigel Pack right now 1 for 3 from the three-point line. And in preparation for this game, Pack and Brown are 2 guys that can rise above, right? If you have those 2 guys, with Pack being able to hurt from a three-point line and Brown handling it and putting pressure on you, that is a tough duo.
Heidi, the kick to Swain. Forsythe gets in his face. Sticking with him. Mark baseline. Ooh, ripped away by Jones. Jones eyes up. Oh, the throwdown by Mo McGee. And OU is taking the lead by 2. We go as Mo goes. The words from his coach, Porter Moser. And right back at you, Titus ties it up again at 53.
Yeah, good 2-man game there. Wilcher, you saw, he just kept Forsythe on his hip just long enough to drop it over to Titus.
Davis with the attack. Titus took a shot on that exchange. Heads-up play by Davis to get it back. McGee saves it. And it's Oklahoma basketball, 17 to work with on the shot clock. Forsythe to the SEC logo. Buttery touch there. And Forsythe has 5.
But how about that 50-50 basketball, right? You have 10.5 left in this second half. You get that 50-50, and you are able to knock down 2 points.
Tay Davis is doing the little things to make an impact in this game.
He is, and he's been challenged to do that. He can get to the rim and cause problems.
Swain tries to get to the rim and will draw the foul. And that's number 3 on Jadon Jones.
Dylan Swain again turning that corner. And you see how his eyes, he's watching the defender, he's watching his teammate for the corner 3. If that defender commits, he's kicking for that 3.
Texas 16 of 17 from the free throw line. Texas among the elite at getting to the line and doing a good enough job to make enough of those free throws so it hurts the opponent.
How about your guy, Jadon Jones, 6'5"? He's the second leading shot blocker for the Sooners. I mean, that's activity, right? Timing, athleticism, obviously.
9 ties, 8 lead changes tonight. Pack almost lost it. Ooh, Weaver. Somehow Pack gets by him. That's tough to do. Pack, the finish, and one. He just went mano-a-mano against one of the better defenders you will find in the SEC and won.
Now, that was a filthy inside-out dribble. I don't know if we're able to get it back a little further. That's what got Weaver off balance. Watch that. Ooh. Inside out, Weaver jumps on it, and then again, Pack, smart move. Once he got his shoulder past Weaver, it was just understands how to leverage that athleticism size from Weaver. Woo, what a move.
6-year star. Began his career in the Big 12 at Kansas State, went to Miami, took the Canes to a Final Four. His final run for the Oklahoma Sooners. Sooners extend the defense with 9:41 left. 3-point lead for Oklahoma. Clinging to any hope of the NCAA tournament. Joe Lunardi says they have to win tonight to have a chance. Still will need to make some noise in Nashville to make that happen. First things first, got to stop Vokatitis. Heidi got some space from Pack. Just has not been his night from outside.
Yeah, a double team by Oklahoma on Vokatitis. Made a right pass, made the right shot. That's what you're looking for if you're Texas coming out of that double team.
Reed working inside. He's going to go to the line. And that's going to be on Cam Heidi, number 4. Free throw attempt, number 26 on its way from Oklahoma. They've made 19 of those. Reed at 73% connects for the first, extends the lead to 4.
And talking with Coach Moser, he talked about Darion Reed and his improvement to where now he's number 4 in the league in free throw rate, and that exact play right there, attack, he's done a much better job of, and he's got a fantastic result.
And the latest, it takes a village moment. With the win, Texas will secure the 8th seed in the SEC tournament in the final first round bye. What happened was we did indeed have the correct information coming on air, and there was a typo delivered from the SEC office that said Texas would be the 9 seed. That has been corrected, confirmed with the win. Texas will be the 8th seed. And one chance for Dalen Swain.
Well, the thing is, he's coming at you. You know he's coming at you, right? He loves to come with that right hand, whether it's a screen or he gets a step. But the thing is, if you cut up his right, he spins to his left. Great footwork and awareness.
Cannot convert. It's a 3-point lead for Oklahoma. 3 straight wins for the Sooners. Left for dead with that 9-game losing streak. And started the 2nd game of their SEC run. Porter Moser said it was gut punch after gut punch. But the Sooners keep fighting. Nigel Pack says, come on, boys. I'll carry you. Starting to go off. Mark got his defender to slip. And he's trying to force it to Vokatitis. Ground contact and a whistle.
Well, with Nigel Pack, his last 3-point bucket, there's a few things you've got to understand. If you know how to set a good screen, so there's a couple of things that have to happen, right? There's a nice ball, a dribble handoff by Wiggy, who sets a good screen, but Nigel Pack knows how to set up his defender. He's played a lot of college basketball games. Everybody knows how to do it.
Yep.
It's him. Sets up the defender, and then the timing from him and McGee, he's able to get a good look at it.
Third active leading scorer in college basketball coming into this game with more than 2,200 career points. McGee thought about it for a moment, not his shot. And putting the body into Vocatitis is Darion Reed, but he traveled. It feels like the postseason. Final night of the SEC regular season. We're almost there. Texas are lead at this point. If it is a win, they're still in this mix. The problem has been closing out these close games. These are conference games decided by 5 points or fewer. There's only one win in that mix, and it was against Vandy, 92-91. Part of the problem has been Brown and Pack have been worn down at the end of games because Dayton Forsythe has been injured for a large part of this SEC run. With him back healthy, it allows Brown and Pack to be more fresh down the stretch.
Yeah, and he comes in off the bench. Forsythe does energy, and he can score the basketball.
63-57 lead for Oklahoma. Ripped away by Xavier Brown, who's having a night to remember. Here's Pack. Left open for three. Pack got it! Nigel Pack letting his bench know, I got you.
Well, you asked, and Nigel Pack was the guy who has stepped up in the last few minutes. A couple of threes. And you knew at some point Nigel was going to find an opening from the three-point line.
Hope lost it. Back-to-back turnovers into the hounds of Brown. Brown, that will slow it down. Back to Brown. Corner three, ripped it. OU going off.
Just when you forget how good of a three-point shooting team Oklahoma is, what an extra the give and go back to Brown, sharing the basketball, and Pack, the way he shoots it, could have stepped in, but gives up a good shot for a great shot for Brown in the corner.
Well, Pack probably should be on the top of the scouting report when it comes to defending the three. No player playing college basketball right now has made more threes in their career than Nigel Pack. Well, Sunday's softball tripleheader right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app, featuring 5 ranked teams. Starting with the series finale between Texas and South Carolina. Then we've got #1 Tennessee against LSU. And the afternoon capped off by a second game of a 3-game series between Mizzou and Florida. Looking forward to that coming up tomorrow on SEC Network. Oklahoma needs this. It's desperation time for Porter Moser and company if they have any hopes of making it to the NCAA tournament as an at-large team. They got to win it here tonight. Make some noise in Nashville as well. Let's check out the Good Hands plays brought to you by Allstate. And it's the bomb squad from outside. Brown and Pack delivering.
Yeah, that backcourt has been fantastic all night, especially in this second half. And Nigel Pack reading that defense, figuring out who can I attack. And then a simple give it up and get it back. Xavier Brown wide open in the corner. They look fresh, though, right? Coming down Oklahoma at the end of this game, that backcourt. Now, Xavier Brown has been just explosive all night long, but having Forsythe come in, give the minutes he has, and Forsythe has scored for Oklahoma, too. So now you got a 3-man rotation in that backcourt.
Back-to-back turnovers for Texas.
And they found success really has been Dalen Swain turning the corner and getting to the free throw line, drawing fouls for Texas.
Pack is turning the screw defensively against Pope. Cody the dump down. Vocatitis using that 7-foot frame. And finishes against McGee.
Nice pass by Nick Cody. Got 2 big guys in there for Texas. Nice little high-low action.
He has been strapped with foul trouble since the early moments of this game. Jones! Yeah, he missed it.
I felt like he thought that skip pass, he could step right into it.
Pope cannot make OU pay on the other end, but a foul on the floor after the shot. It looks like that's going to be against Mo McGee.
Okay, so that's only 3 fouls for Mo McGee. So, you know, he's not in a situation where Coach Moser is going to have to rein him in. With 6 minutes left, you want the big fella to be able to play as natural as he can.
4 points, 3 fouls. Pack the hot hand to the bench.
And there you go, though, right? If Forsythe's not here, he can't get 2-3 minutes rest for the last segment of this game.
I mean, they're definitely game planning for how do we close out these final 4 minutes. Swain harassed. Jones elevating for the block.
Who again?
You mentioned he's springing. Jadon Jones. Oh, you're taking a patient approach.
Brown has been so good tonight, handling the basketball, getting OU in their offense.
It's been that way since the jump. Rattles out. Texas wants to push. Pope. But Reed got to him quickly. Tipped. Fokatitis on McGee. Double team. Mark for 3. Got it! Tremont Mark trying to take Texas back. 7-point game.
Yeah, that's a big shot because Texas came out of the half and said, we are not going to let Jordan Pope do in the second half what he did us in the first half. Nice step in by Tremont Mark. Now on that Oklahoma end, and here's another look at Jordan Pope. Drawing the 2 fenders, getting in that gap. Not really, could make some threes, Tremont Mark. Obviously, we don't talk about that as his biggest strength, but you have to respect it, especially when it's coming off of that one dribble in the paint, kick out 3.
Mark really saving his best for last, leaves his Texas team in scoring just under 19 points per game over the last 3. It is senior night for the Texas Longhorns. Mark did not take part in the senior night festivities. That was his call because he took part in it last year and then got his 6th year of eligibility. And he has emerged as one of Sean Miller's leaders for this Texas team.
And you talked about closing game outs, and we saw the numbers on Oklahoma at the end of games. So the last 2 possessions were not good possessions for Oklahoma. You had a 3 that didn't hit the rim. Then you had a forced 2 that hit the backboard, then the rim. So if you want to close out games, you have to have the discipline and focus to get a good possession each time as they close out this game.
They're going to keep Nigel Pack on the bench. See how long that is the case. Make sure he is fresh for the stretch run.
Probably the under 4 timeout will come back.
Forsythe rolls it off. Pope with the rebound. Swain the lob. Nick Carty the flush.
Coach Moser is calling wheel. He wants to work the offense, work the clock. Nothing early in the offense.
Five on the shot clock. Xavier Brown, rhythm 3, too strong. McGee, the offensive rebound. Huge offensive rebound for OU. Final 4 minutes. The most important 4 minutes of the season for OU. And somehow Xavier Brown rolls it in. He's got 21.
Cool and explosive. Xavier Brown has been impressive tonight.
All set up by McGee working the offensive glass. Swain to the hoop. Get out, says McGee. Oklahoma needs this win to have any shot for the NCAA tournament as an at-large. Texas trying to get off the bubble with the win. It's rivalry basketball at its best.
Bad shot leads to an alley-oop dunk for Texas. But then you have Xavier Brown under control, explosive to the rim. Oklahoma up 71-64. 1.5 seconds on the shot clock. So from Oklahoma's standpoint, you have 30-second possession right there. Now, Mo McGee has played 16 minutes tonight, okay? He averages over 21. So think about how important. Kai Rogers came in for about 4 minutes to give McGee a little bit of a break, okay? Now McGee, 3 fouls. He's got his legs with him because they've managed his minutes, and Elanatsov has been good in his 12 minutes of play. So they've really pieced it together, the minutes of McGee.
And this is danger zone for Oklahoma. Will we see the team that struggled in the final 4 minutes in that 9-game losing streak, or the one that's been so much better as OU has won 3 straight to keep their tournament hopes alive? 3:33 left to go. OU trying to hold on, 71-64. A win keeps it in the conversation for the NCAA tournament. A win for the Longhorns makes him the number 8 seed in Nashville. Oh, tough make! Got it! Pack his return. Davis to Jones. Pack was open. Well, Jones instead, he missed the 3. Pope leads Texas with 22. Volkatatis goes down. No whistle. Somehow passed it underneath McGee. And Volkatatis is tied up by McGee. And a whistle under the bucket. What do we have here, Pat?
It initially, it looked like Don Daly right there. I thought it was a double foul initially. And now they said they're going back to the monitor, and it looks like we're going to get an explanation of some sort.
Anthony Jordan's coming over.
The call on the court is a double foul. We're going to look at a potential flagrant foul.
So we heard the announcement, double foul, looking for a possible flagrant. And it's Volkatatis and McGee.
I think what McGee is going to argue is that right elbow, and watch Volkatatis clear out right there. Now, initially, Don Daly's underneath the basket. He's got his eye on both of that, as he has as all 3 officials have, physicality.
McGee picked up 2 quick fouls early, trying to guard Matas Volkatatis. They then brought in Elanatsov to do his best. He's out with 4 fouls at the moment. Then Kai Rogers came in, and it was an absolute brawl against Volkatatis.
And to close out a game, Oklahoma, shot selection. It's about decisions. Decision-making on the offense and defensive end. What kind of a shot we want? Who do we want shooting it? When do we want them to shoot it?
Is that in reference to the last possession we saw from Oklahoma?
Last possession. I even felt like there was an action they ran where I felt Nigel Pack did an excellent job. He was in a pick-and-roll situation with Tay Davis and actually set a screen to allow Davis to get to the SEC logo area.
After review, neither action arise to a flagrant foul, so it'll just be a double foul on both players.
Double foul, we play on. So that is number 4 for McGee and number 4 for Volkatatis. Using all the fouls they possibly can to stay in this one.
Now, the other side of that is McGee. We talked about how important he is just because of his rim protection on the end for Oklahoma. Really only one that can protect the rim for them.
So with 2:36 left, Swain will inbound. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Giving his teammates a heads up that they are in a late clock situation. The inbound to Pope. He will fire immediately, and Pope cannot connect. Tay Davis with the rebound. It's been a solid night for Davis.
Yeah, you see the tempo right now. Oklahoma is gonna take if you get a good one early, sure, but run your offense.
Pat got tugged by Mark, and it's a call, not immediately, but they still get it right as Mark is called for the foul. That's number 4 for Tremont Mark.
And the old wily vet, Nigel Pack, just recognizes the high ball screen. Okay, good screen by Wagee. I'm by my man. Let me take a chance. See, a lot of times players will do that. They know the defender's behind them. Stop short. You're in the bonus.
And Pat cannot hit.
That's a good offensive possession, though. Just couldn't convert.
Mark pass Pack. Mark leans into it and got it. 2-point game with 2 minutes left.
And that is vintage Tremont Mark. What a big-time shot.
Porter Moser wants a timeout. Has Oklahoma played this too conservative in the final 4 minutes?
I don't think so. They were able to get some big shots. I thought there were 3 possessions that maybe they would want back. However, one of those possessions and shots resulted in Wagee getting to the free throw line. Here's the difference. Texas has this right here. Tremont Mark, who is a tough shot maker one-on-one. Jordan Pope, a tough one-on-one shot maker to where you can play great defense and they still make shots. Jordan Pope just made a 3 in the corner. And then Dalen Swain, give Dalen the basketball, and he's going to figure out a way to get a shot. So they're just a tough guard. Texas, you knew they were going to fight back in this.
So in the first matchup up in Norman, Texas trailed by 14 points, came back and won. Tonight, trailed by 12 at the 7-minute mark, and they are finishing with the flurry, but the job is not done yet. OU has far more on the line than Texas at this moment, which is wild to say considering that 9-game losing streak where everybody gave up on Oklahoma except for the people inside the Sooners locker room. They can close this one out. They still have a shot.
Tay Davis needs to stay aggressive if he touches it in this offensive possession.
Jones, baseline. Davis, the tough finish, and gets it done. He's got 12 points. A little bit of a lot tonight for Davis.
There was a lot of ball screen action, guys moving, and credit Jones to take tight curl and finding a cutter.
Mark got bumped by Pack and called for the foul on the floor.
Yeah, he's the wily vet, too. Tremont Mark sensed Nigel Pack a little too close to him. What does he do? Leans in. The art of drawing a foul is extremely important. That's next level stuff for these scorers.
One 6-year vet
yes,
against another.
And you feel that contact, you lean in, you're going to get the call.
So Pack goes to the bench, even though that's foul number 1. A little offense for defense here. In the hands of Swin. Could be a first-team All-SEC pick. His first year of the conference. 5 on the shot clock for Jordan Pope. Brown on him. Pope, no good. And OU with the rebound. Under a minute to play. The most important minute of the season for the Oklahoma Sooners. No Pack on the court for the Sooners. And they got Brown. The lob, the finish. How'd he do it? Reverse style. Mo Wagee. Goodness gracious, Big Mo. There's Mark harassed and fouled. Mo Wagee. He's the difference maker.
Just a simple 2-man game. Again, Brown with the ability to fight off the defenders, and he had, see, Vokatitis in drop coverage was sort of caught in no man's land, right? Matas didn't know, am I coming up to guard Brown? Should I backpedal and cover Wagee? So he was in no man's land. Brown throws it up, and a reverse yoke
The stat
by
line does not do justice to the impact that McGee has had. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. But when you frame that with getting in early foul trouble, which has been the bugaboo for him, but yet staying mentally locked in and making buckets and plays when OU has needed it the most, it's been an excellent night for McGee.
Yeah, and you look at the size factor, right? I mean, Oklahoma, although we've seen a couple of their bigs come in, play some good minutes, it's really McGee that's the main big guy that's going to have the most impact, and he's done that.
So Sean Miller wants a timeout with 27.9 left. A 4-point lead for Oklahoma, trying to wrap up the regular season with 4 straight wins. A loss cooks them. They're pretty much done. Joe Lunardi has dubbed this the last stand for Oklahoma, and here's why. With the win, their odds go up 23% to get in to the big dance. Now, it would still leave them up for work in Nashville, but still a chance for Oklahoma. Porter Moser deserves so much credit for the job that he has done, staying positive with a team that couldn't do anything right in a 9-game losing streak.
Well, so this is a rare occasion, Lowell. We'll find ourselves 30 seconds, 27 seconds, 0.9 left, and there's only one timeout for Oklahoma. Texas is out of timeouts. Usually we get in this stage of the game, and each team still's got 2. So we'll see. Obviously, Texas put some pressure on. Get a steal, try to get a steal. Can't wait too much time at this. You know, if you're Texas, you want to stretch the game out as long as possible. Obviously, Oklahoma wants to shorten the game. So you don't want to let too much time tick off that clock if you're Texas.
So Pack checks back into the game. Brown will.
Looks like they're setting up like a wide receiver play.
Yeah, Brown will be the receiver, the intended target. Here comes the trap. Forsythe nearly lost it. He stepped out of bounds. Cannot happen. Texas basketball down by 4 with 24.9.
Well, what happened there is Brown does a nice V-cut to get open, but where he catches it in the corner, right, everybody knew that pass that Forsythe was going to take coming to the sidelines. Great job to intercept that by Jordan Pope. Got his finger on it. Wow. Great anticipation by Texas defense.
Davis and Reed check in. Give OU an offensive boost. Swain looking for the big shot. Double team. Mark for 3. Contested. He's going to go to the line for 3. Jadon Jones fouled him.
You remember we had the conversation about closing out games?
Yeah. Excruciating. Final 30 seconds for Oklahoma.
There are some who will question that, but I believe you hit that hand, you got to let him finish that shot.
Mark at 74% from the free throw line this season. Hits the first of 3. Texas now 20 of 22 from the charity stripe. Two-point game. Weaver checks in. Vokatitis to the bench. Mark hits all 3 in his final game in Austin, Texas. Now Pack and Forsythe check back in for Oklahoma. On their last inbound, turned it over as Forsythe ran out of room. They call this a rivalry, folks. Forsythe has to get it in, and Davis is fouled by Cody.
Tay Davis, smart play, man, because a lot of times, as you see, players do not run back to the basketball. Heads up play by Tay Davis. And he's sort of like that release for the inbounds passer.
It has been a real struggle, though, for Tate Davis at the line tonight. He has split 8 free throw attempts, 4 of 8 for the night. 14.3 and a 1-point edge. And the balance for Oklahoma. One and one. Davis got the first. Clutch. And it's back to a 3-point lead for the Sooners. No timeouts for Texas. Jordan Pope, he's got 22. Pulls up for 3. There was some contact, no whistle. Bounces around. Pope got it back and it's fouled! 3 points potentially coming for Jordan Pope via the line.
These are the moments where you could wish you could interview a player mid-game to see exactly what the
following
thought
play
process
is under review for whether it is a 2-point shot or a 3.
This is a huge review to see if Jordan Pope was behind the 3-point line.
See, and this is what I'm talking about here. We don't know what Xavier Brown is thinking, but what I believe he's thinking. You're up 3. We foul up 3. Right? You know that strategy. My argument always is, if it's a perfect scenario, that could work. Now, that's in the player's mind. Foul up 3, right? Go to the free throw line. Instead of playing defense, and that's a tough 3-point shot to make.
You're talking about in the final 30 seconds of this game, OU fouling twice on 3-point shots.
In the first one.
After video review, it was a 3-point shot attempt.
See what I'm saying?
So it'll be 3 shots.
Damian Fishback is back in the studio, and we have this discussion all the time. Foul up 3, don't foul up 3. My argument is, in a high-pressure situation, you can have a slight mistake like that. You foul the guy intended to be a 2. He gets behind the 3-point line.
Jordan Pope, can he control that heart rate with 3 free throws coming up? He hits all 3, and he ties the game. There's number 1. It was a 75-69 lead for the Sooners with 30 seconds left. Now that edge is down to 1. And Porter Moser elects to ice the kicker.
Well, he has to call that timeout, right? Just to prepare his team. Okay, make a miss. Here's what we're going to do. Talk to his team. He has a timeout. Is he supposed to sit on it?
Oklahoma issues closing out this game.
And for Oklahoma in the game, you'd imagine they really have, you can't catch it. They're going to have to get it somewhere in front. You can get it in front of that free throw line above your 3-point line. Now, is he going to set it up for one guy to give you 1-2 hard dribbles, 2 jump stop? Or can you set up a play where you have 1 pass and then an quick advance pass? The long advance pass that we saw, what they call the Christian Laettner. Grant Hill to Christian Laettner. It's such a rare once-in-a-lifetime type play, and very difficult to be able to catch that when everyone knows it's coming.
Jordan Pope with his entire family on hand. They made the trip from California here to Austin, Texas, as Pope was honored before the start of this game for senior night. Second season for the Longhorns, trying to close out his home career in style. He's made the first two. A make here ties it up at 77. Ice in his veins.
Smart move. Substitutions now. Although now Texas can set up their defense.
20-8 run for Texas since OU took a 12-point lead with just under 7 minutes remaining. They have erased a 6-point deficit in the final 30 seconds. But OU has a chance to break some hearts here in Austin. Brown from near half court, and we are going to overtime. Last day of the SEC regular season, best day of the SEC regular season. Before we came on air, it was Texas A&M and LSU going to triple overtime. And we are getting set for overtime here in Austin the way it should be. With these two rivals going head to head. OU and Texas, with Oklahoma needing a win to stay alive for the tournament.
Yeah, he got a really good look at it right there. You see Nick Cody just trying to get his hands up to affect it any kind of way, and that's an extremely low percentage shot. And what you didn't want to do if you were Texas was invite any kind of contact. The only other option you figure Oklahoma could have done was throw it past half court and a second additional pass for a catch and shoot to Nigel Pack or even Xavier Brown.
And how does OU get right in this moment, considering it looked like they had this thing on ice?
I don't think that they'll be deflated in any way, because when you look back at how Texas got to this point, you mentioned the 2 fouls on the 3-point shots.
Yeah.
You just contest those, and those are low percentage. I don't know how many times I'm going to say, a contested 3 is a low percentage shot. Just contest, right?
So there's Jones with the foul against Mark. Mark went to the line
and
to hit
that's
3.
That's just a decision. Xavier Brown, I haven't asked him, but I'm assuming it was the up 3 foul. They get 2 free throws. We rebound, go back and forth. And that time it just, in that situation, didn't work. Now, again, Jordan Pope has one of the lowest percentage 3-point shots right there that you can get. A fadeaway, fall-away 3 in the corner. And those are just 2 plays, right? You go back to the last 4 minutes and how Texas got back to this. You had a big shot by Tremont Mark from his mid-range area, and they just kept fighting their way back into it.
With the win, Texas locks up the number 8 seed in the SEC tournament, and we'll get a first-round bye. Tournament begins Wednesday in Nashville. Sunday is selection day. Win also, in the words of Joe Lunardi, helps get them off the bubble. For Oklahoma, their only path to the tournament as an at-large selection would be to win this game tonight and then go on another run in Nashville. A haunting final 30 seconds of regulation for the Sooners. And Pack nearly lost that. Step back, but Swain was on him tight. The roll, Reed, tough finish, and gets it to go. So there's your answer on how OU would come out unfazed. Kokatitis, the vision, Mark missed it. Swain ripped it away. Jordan Pope leads all tonight with 25. Had the 3 free throws to send this game to overtime. Another dump down. McGee is there. He has been a force for Oklahoma in limited time because of foul trouble. The handoff. Brown, sensational. Cannot convert there.
And those are the type of plays that Brown has been making all night, getting into the teeth of that defense and finding a way to finish.
Pope on Pack. Pope uses the glass. He's got 27.
That is a veteran player knowing where to get to on his spot on the floor.
And Vokatitis is fighting something right now, favoring his leg. Don't know if he's cramping. It's been a long, physical game for both these teams. Immediately gets a Gatorade and will take a seat to get worked on. Pack for three. Well short. Pack got it back. And a whistle against Texas.
How about that? Nigel Pack follows his own shot. 6 feet, smallest guy on the floor. However, he shot it, so he knows where it's going to come down, where it's going to hit the rim. Knew he was short on that shot. See, Nigel gets it off, says, uh-oh, uh-oh. He felt it was short, kind of got lucky. It bounced off Nick Cody's leg. But I don't think anybody, not even Nick Cody, realized it was going to come up that short. Heady play by Nigel Pack.
And the second half that he put together,
yeah,
the reason that Oklahoma was able to build up the lead that they would eventually let slip away. He's got 19 tonight, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. And Pack gives Oklahoma the lead back.
And in OU's backcourt, Nigel Pack and Xavier Brown have played whale of a game. This guy right here, Brown, had to, and he did. His explosiveness.
It's 109th all-time meeting between Texas and Oklahoma. And the Rivals go to overtime for only the 7th time. Each team has 3 wins in these OT affairs. 2-point lead for the Sooners. Mark the 2. And a late whistle, and J.R. Jones cannot believe it. And that is number 5 for Jones, the first player to foul out tonight.
And that was reminiscent of the 3-point foul. And listen, Tremont Mark, that's his move. Go up. And Jones, the official, had mentioned that Jones
and his legs. He gets into
got him into his legs. And Jones has played a great game.
Yeah.
And you hate that, you know, it's and he's trying to make a play, right? He's a defensive play, which he's done all night. Block shots, played a
7
good
rebounds.
defensive game, 7 rebounds. But it seems like Oklahoma keeps giving Texas life.
Yeah.
It's, you know, from the free throw line, especially.
And a night or a game after Texas goes 14 of 27 from the free throw line in that blowout loss to Arkansas. Come back, and at this point, 25 of 27. And it was Mark and Pope making them when all the pressure was on.
This is when you have to take an extra deep breath. Bend your knees just a little bit more. End of the game, you're in overtime.
And this is both. Series highlighted by wild finishes.
Hey, he doesn't look fatigued, does he?
No.
Brown
wants to keep going. So does Pack. Pack too strong. He's got more left in the tank. We're in the final 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Certainly know this game means more for Oklahoma. Texas in a much better spot for the NCAA tournament. This would be a massive quad-one win for Oklahoma. 2 minutes left again. OU hoping these final two better than the final two of regulation. And that's not a good way to bring in the final 120 seconds, throwing it away.
Yeah, just miscommunication. Tate Davis had a good idea. He was going to back down his guy and was waiting for that opening for Nigel Pack, who just didn't get to that open area fast enough.
Turnover number 10 for the Sooners. Texas will try to cash in. Mark thought about it for a moment. He's got Davis on him. Working off the screen. Swain offensive rebound. The kick to Pope for three. Pope got it! Texas back in front. OU timeout with 1:16 left in OT.
And I know what you were thinking when that shot went up, but right there, offensive rebound, kick back, and yes, offensive rebound, kick out for a three because the defense is scrambling. And also, the shooter, Jordan Pope, is receiving the pass from underneath the basketball. His shoulders are already square to the hoop. His feet are always set. Just catch and shoot.
Jordan Pope, 30 points, 8 of 23 from the field, 7 of those makes from outside.
And he started out hot. Then Oklahoma said, okay, we're going to make things difficult for you, Jordan Pope. Came back late in the second half and has made some big shots. Even the end of regulation, that one-on-one step-back three, big shot. He's a tough shot maker on senior night. Got a bunch of family here.
Better than how he did against Arkansas.
Yeah, that one, to bounce back the way he's done, takes a guy that says, okay, you know what? Wasn't my best performance.
4 fouls in 4 minutes to 30 points, a season high for Jordan Pope. Oklahoma, again playing from behind. McGee to Pack. Good look for Pack. And Pack too strong. McGee tips it in. OU back in front, 83-82. Let's keep going, boys and girls.
Tate Davis not allowing Swain to get to that right hand over that Boca Titus screen. Great defense.
You got SEC defense on display. And Pope nearly made the move and the bucket.
See, now that's a winning defensive rebound right there. That's a winning stop, and it ends with the defensive rebound.
Under 30 to go. In the hands of the 6-year star, Nigel Pack. Trying to keep the Sooners alive for the tournament. 10 on the shot clock. Brown tries to get past Boca Titus. The kick, corner three, yes! Darion Reed delivers. Jordan Pope fires, no good. Pack with the rebound and will go to the line with 2.5 seconds left. Just when you thought that OU had thrown away this game, they find a way to come back and potentially win this game and stay alive for a berth in the tournament.
So this is where this play is all made. All made. Xavier Brown, watch how he's able to turn the corner right here and collapses this defense. Makes a perfect pass on time to Reed.
Pack hits the first.
And it's those little things, right? The ability to turn that corner by Brown. Collapses the defense.
Nigel Pack hits them both. OU leads 88-82. And the team that blew a 6-point edge in the final 30 seconds, putting on a clinic on how you blow a lead, stays together and delivers the OT win. They are alive. Joe Lenardi called this the last stand. They survived this, a run in Nashville, and maybe they're dancing.
Well, what's really impressive is Oklahoma coming into this game. They knew they had to be physical. They won the glass game, won the battle of the glass. They did it by getting to the free throw line. Incredible game. Only way to finish out the season, my man.
4 straight wins for Porter Moser and Boomer Sooner when everyone had given up on them after that 9-game losing streak. It's about getting hot at the right time. Moser knows all about that. And the Sooners, red hot, just like that popcorn machine back in Norman. OU has won 6 of their last 8, still alive in the tournament. Bradley, I'm Logan.